and welcome everyone. It is Race on Oz. This is season 3 of the PC League. We're kicking it off tonight. We're round 1. We're at Silverstone. My name is Nick, and I'm going to be joined by JJ Penguin or Joe Mahoney, whichever name he wants to be known as tonight. He is going to be joining me. Very, very excited. A brand new season, a brand new format as well. Joe, how are you going tonight?
I'm very well, Nick. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Not too bad for a Monday. I'm excited. I'm excited for the new season. We got through the Super Trofino series. We had a little break, and now we're back doing the real thing. So, ready to crack on and get into it. All excited for season 3. So, let's kick it off here. I think we'll go through now. We'll just have a look at what are the changes a little bit around season 3, but before we do that, let's have a quick look at the calendar. So as you can see here, we're kicking it off tonight at Silverstone. Then we'll be at Barcelona next week. Daylight savings time as well next week for the Enduro around Barcelona. Then we're going back to Coda. We'll have a little break there. Then we'll duck off to France. Skip over to South Africa for Kyalami. Over to Laguna Seca. We'll have another little break, and then we'll finish off the year with the sprint at Bathurst and Enduro at Suzuka. And then we'll decide whether we're going to go to Imola or Indianapolis to finish off the season. So that's season 3, 9 rounds in total. Couple little breaks in there. This is going to be a good one. Looking forward to it. So now in terms of what we actually have on offer this season, lovely sponsors at Ignition Control Racing. They have thankfully donated a button box as the prize for season 3. So awesome to see them on board with us, a long-time sponsor, and very, very generously donated that button box as the prize for season 3. So just a little caveat there, though, drivers must complete 6 of the 9 races to be eligible for the prize draw as well. So thank you so much to Ignition Control Racing. Absolutely awesome prize. Looking forward to see who will get their hands on that at the end of the season. All right, so as we move on now, it is a little bit different this season. Joe, did you want to give us a bit of a snapshot around what we're about to talk about next?
Yeah, so it's been very successful on the PS4 and PS5 side of the ACC League that we've run a teams championship. Now, it hasn't been done on the PC side since, I think, the original Assetto Corsa days, and I'm very pleased to announce that we have gone down the line of running a teams championship on PC. We've got 6 teams: Bruce Hale Racing, Pagny Next Level Racing, Selby Acoustic Racing, Gameston Racing Team, so all familiar names from the console side of things. Ignition Control Racing are making a return, and thank you to the prize that is on offer for this season, as well as Beyond Trophies Racing, who are making their debut as a team at Race on Oz. So this is very exciting to see how they go, each of these teams. And we'll run through the teams themselves. So we'll start with Bruce Hale Racing.
Also, captain is Matt Frost. He went very well in the Super Trofino series, so he will be the captain for Bruce Hale Racing. He'll be joined by Glenn Stimson, Roland Schmidt, so in the Porsche and the Audi. Then you've got the silver drivers, Carlos Dominiak and Nathan Wilson as well in the Porsche and McLaren there as well to those guys. And then the AM driver of Mark Hurley, he'll be joining those boys in the Bentley. I think he raced in that last season, so he's back in the Bentley again for this season. So next team up, we've got Pagny Next Level Racing. Paul Russell, he's going to be the captain this season. He's going to be in the Aston Martin. He's going to be joined by Mitch Hobbs as well. So they're both with the Aston. It's got a bit of a boost after the last update. So those two guys are going to make the most of it. And then Des Mann is the other pro driver who'll be joining those two. Then you've got the silver drivers, Adrian Rice and Stephen Haycock. And then the AM driver is going to be Harley Scotland. He'll be trying his hand at the McLaren this season. So next team that we've got coming up, this is Selby Acoustics. This is all quite familiar for me. I've come from consoles, so the the team concept is not new to me, so it's going to be sort of a bit of familiarity for it. Daniel Hemi Bateman, James Pierre Reid, and Michael Easter. They're the three pro drivers. They're joined by Peter Wall, Aaron Dennis coming over from console, Rob Penfold, Reese Penfold, so father and son, I do believe, and James Mack. So he was the AM Championship leader from last season. He was tied with Nando Latenzio, so he's back in the McLaren. We'll see if he's got that Gulf Western-esque livery this season as well. Then we've got Gamesman Racing Team. They're captained by Bruno Gallo. So he does a little bit of everything. He does driving. He's the captain. He's on the trusted drivers panel as well. So he's in the Porsche this season. He's joined by Andrew Lawrenson and Marcus Van Vliet in the Lamborghinis. So I've been told to keep my eye out for Marcus, one of the pro drivers there. Then you got Nando Latenzio, who I said tied on the AM standings. No, didn't tie. He came... Where was he? Yeah, he was tied for the silver standing, last season with Daniel Hemi Bateman. Angry Old Fella, in number 55 in the silver in the BMW, and Herbertron will be the AM driver for Gamesman Racing Team. And then we've got the last one here. It's Beyond Trophies. So Rowdy Clayton, he will be the captain this season, or some other people might know him by Lucas. Mitchell Weston will be joining him as the other pro driver. Then you got the silver drivers of Anthony Cesano, Phil Kraithios, Wally Masterson, and the AM driver there will be Simone Cocco for Beyond Trophies Racing Team. And then we've got the last one coming up. It's Ignition Controls Racing. So our wonderful sponsor who've donated the prize this season. So they're going to be captained by Andy O'Hara, Art Vanderlei, and Ali Karuden. I messed it up the first time. Sorry, Ali. They're the three silver drivers. Then you've got Neil Fakeney and Chris Hildebrandt. They'll be the two silver drivers. They'll both be driving the Lamborghini this season. And then Stu Parsons and John Drum, they'll be coming back for the AM component of ICR. And I do believe that is all of the teams all sorted. Very excited. Not too far away from getting this one started. So just the details around tonight. They are wrapping up their 45-minute practice. Qualifying will be a 15-minute session. The race is going to be 60 minutes. Now, there are mandatory stops. Stops only. The mandatory stop is for tyres, so no mandatory refueling. Refueling is obviously allowed, though. There's no fixed refueling time either. No pit window. We usually see the 25 to sort of 30-minute mark usually is when we see most drivers come in. Endurance rounds will have the mandatory refueling and stint limits. The rounds 2, 5, and 8 will be 65-minute stint limits, in fact. So that gives you a little bit of an idea around the enduro stuff. Coming up shortly next week will be the first one of the season. In terms of the track, wow, it's a good one. What a cracking way to start the season. So it's 5.89 kilometers. It's 18 turns. It has some of the most famous parts of tarmac on the planet. They do say England was sort of the home of motorsport, where it was all started. That might be debated a little bit with Italy. In fact, that Italy and Britain both share the fact that they're the only countries to have held a Grand Prix in every year of the World Championship since 1950. So names like Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, Copse, Brooklands, Aintree, Farm, Village, Abbey, Vale, all famous names in motorsport. And as we have a look at the circuit here, we do a little track walk around here. So starting at the sort of the new, you can still say it's the new pit complex, if you like, blasting through Copse, and then you got Maggots and Beckett's along there as well into Stowe. Out of Club, you go there towards Abbey, and then just finishing that part of the circuit around Brooklands and Luffield as well. Laps around here, around about 2 minutes. So doing a 60-minute race, probably going to be doing around about, I'd say 16, 17 laps tonight. So it is a relatively long circuit, 5.89 kilometers, in fact, 18 turns. But they're 18 exhilarating turns, in fact, and great circuit to go racing. We'll be doing just that momentarily as practice is wrapping up, and we are about to do the first qualifying session for Season 3 for RaceOnOz, the PC League. You might notice some nice graphics as well. So there's been a lot of work put in by Joe and the admin team as well. Crunch has lent his graphic design expertise as well. So to just give a little bit more of a sharper presentation, I think it's come up pretty well. I'm sure all our viewers would agree. And if you do agree, give us a thumbs up as well. Give us a like. Definitely helps the channel. We've got plenty of content on here. We've got the console league kicking off as well as the PC, and plenty of action at RaceOnOz. So we will be getting this one started momentarily. I think just a few cars are just wrapping up their lap now. We're in the 2-minute countdown, but it doesn't go for 2 minutes. We've got a different name at the top. So Andrew Lawrenson. Looked like he topped the timesheets at 57.280. Cracking time from him. Andy O'Hara is up there as well. And a quick shout out to our champions from last season, the pro standings, Sean Madison as well. He took out the Season 2 championship, 50 points clear of Mitch Hobbs in second and Philippa Bakita in P3. And then the silver standings as well, Daniel Hemi Bateman and Nendo Latenzio. They both tied for P1 in silver. Peter Wall in second there. And then Jonathan Mustafo, P3, P4, depending on how you look at it. So congratulations to those drivers. And then James Mack took home the AM standings, 50 points clear of Mark Hurley and then Herb Atron in P3 there as well. So congratulations to all those guys. We are about to get this thing underway. And here we go. So we should see cars coming out on track momentarily. We'll get the screen up.
You hear a bit of sound now. We're getting ready.
Here we go. All right, so
just on with Michael East at the moment.
There we go. So it's a relatively new name. Didn't see him from last season in the Bentley this evening. So plenty of cars out on circuit now. Big grid tonight as well. Big grid, 31 cars. So I think it's really a testament to the strength of the league. Hopefully we can have 31 all the way through or more, but first race of the season, you get a fair bit of excitement usually. So hopefully we can maintain that throughout the entire season. You'll see some familiar names out there as well. Matt Frost, Paul Russell, who else? Andy O'Hara, Chris Hildebrand. He did well in the Super Trofeo series as well. A lot of familiar names, some new names sprinkled in there as well. So welcome to all the new drivers. Welcome back to all the previous drivers as well, as Michael East is going to give us a lap around here. Who else is out there? Matt Frost is out there. Roland Schmid there just up ahead.
Shout out to Roland Schmid. He's a welcome addition back on the grid. It's great to see him out there. So he's come back and did a season not long ago. He's had a bit of a break. He's come back again, and he's actually just setting off on a flying lap at this to start his first lap.
All right, we'll stick with Michael East is on the screen at the moment, so we'll stick with him. So just a sub 2 minute was the best lap of practice. We'll see what Michael East can do in the Bentley as we're cracking on with the first qualifying session of Season 3, making his way through the Maggotts Beckett's Chapel complex, blast down the Hangar Straight. It's the extremely fast right-hander Stowe. Such a satisfying feeling when you get a lap around here, right? Using all of the curb there on the inside, on the entry, and on the exit. Usually use that overhanging signage there as a braking marker. Climbing the curbs all through Vale as well, then through the club. This is the old pit straight complex there. Then fast right-hander of Abbey, the left the farm, and then coming through Village in the loop. So comes to the sort of bit more of a technical part of the circuit here. Nice and patient though. Looking pretty good so far from Michael East. Not too much more of the lap left as he blasts down the Wellington Straight. Trying to make his way into Brooklands here. Looking pretty steady. See what sort of lap you can get. The times will start to filter through pretty quickly. We've got Roland Schmidt at 1:58.3, Marcus Van Vliet at 58.2. Michael East goes top of the times at 57.9, straight to the top. He's been replaced almost immediately from Andrew Lawrenson at 57.6. Bruno Gallo puts himself in contention as well at 57.7. Mitch Hobbs at 57.8. So these guys right on it straight away. Who else do we have out there? I think I see Peter Royal will be the next one around. He gets a time there. Too sure where he came out. Peter Royal, where are you? Anyway, so he went around there. Who else do I see out there right now? What about just trying to pick up someone at the moment. Where was 31 or 331? Mr. Nathan Wilson. Have a look at this livery. This is an absolute cracker. Love it. He's got a bit of sort of an indigenous vibe about it as well. Loving it. Did put in the chat earlier in the week that he seems to have been putting in a little bit more time into the liveries rather than the laps, but see how he goes. That bouncing Audi making its way through there. That was through the farm curve into Village, and we go through the left-hander loop. And it's pretty much just a flat-out blast from here. It's just a little kink here, using the curb on the inside there. And then you'll blast down the Wellington Straight. It's got a little bit of a toe, might get a little bit of a toe there. That's from the Honda in front. I do believe that belongs to Nando Latenzio, I think. Don't quote me on that. And we've got Andrew Lawrenson, a 57.3, sits atop of the times. Where can Nathan Wilson come out for Bruce Hale Racing? The customary green of BHR. Nathan Wilson goes a 2:01.85, so good enough for 23rd at this stage. So in that 31 car field, there's a car just getting off to the side there. I think number 77 was coming around. That's Carlos Dominiak. He's just coming down the Wellington Straight through Brooklands now in the Porsche. He's currently sitting in P25 right now, a 2:01 flat pretty much. Let's see what he can do. And a fellow BHR driver, and he doesn't improve on that time, so he'll remain there in P26. Looking at car number 6 here, Paul Russell. I think that's for, that would be for Pagnin Next Level. Number 6, Paul Russell. Last season, he was in the Porsche. This season, he's in the Aston Martin. Paul Russell, number 6. There he is. Got him. So He currently sits P9, so a 58.3 is his best time. A 58.5 was the previous time for him. 7 minutes left in qualifying right now. It is Bruno Gallo sitting in P1. Andrew Lawrenson second. Daniel Hemi Bateman was in third, but he was replaced by Michael Lee, so he moves down to fourth. Andy O'Hara in fifth, then Mitch Hobbs, Ali Karuden, Marcus Van Vliet, Paul Russell, and Roland Schmid. That rounds out our top 10. I saw car 666, that's Matt Frost. He is team captain of Bruce Hale Racing in the customary 666 for him. He's currently sitting in P15 right now. Let's see. He is on a timed lap. A 58.6 is his best time. And he doesn't improve on that. So he goes a little bit slower than that last time around. So he'll remain down there in P15. Matt Frost. Who else do I see out there? I think car number 97. Where are you, 97? There's 31 cars to choose from. So just trying to work. Oh, that's Mitch Hobbs. Here he is. Mitch Hobbs in the Aston Martin. Very nicely presented Aston Martin as well. So currently sitting in P7 right now with 57.8 is his best time. He's working his way through Brooklands and Luffield out through Woodcote now. The Aston getting a little bit of a boost in the last update as well. Hence quite a popular field with the Astons. So he's about to kick off on a time lap right now. Might just stick with him. Let's go on board with him as we are. We'll follow him for this lap. He's got Paul Russell there just coming out of the pits, who does his best to get out of the way there. Flinging it through the Maggots-Beckett's complex there. Now coming down the Hangar Straight. Obviously it's an old airfield, hence the Hangar Straight term. That car number 97 looking nice and tidy right now. As he comes into the Vale chicane. Just stays away from that sausage curb just enough. We'll see how close they get to it tonight. Aggressive shift down, back up through the gears. Now coming into Village. Once again, the sausage curbs just sitting there, taunting him on the apex of the turn. And now it's going to be flat out. It's going to wind that big V8 up. And he'll send it down the Wellington Straight, under the bridge. Nice and smooth on the brakes there as well. It's a short shift up. So his best time is a 57.8. And he beats his time only minutely. So 57.847, good enough for P7 for Mitch Hobbs. So good stuff from him. 3 minutes remaining in the session. We've got Andy O'Hara here on the screen now. His best time's a 57.782. As he makes his way through the old pit complex there.
Have a look at the manufacturers there. It's a good spread of the manufacturers across the whole field, really. This is good to see. There's definitely no standout.
Well, and it's a good mixture of mid, rear and front engine cars in there as well. So a very interesting spread. The Bentley, the big B up there as well. I think that's our sole Bentley in the field. We see a few Porsches, BMWs, Lamborghinis in there, lots of Astons. Andy O'Hara, though, he was in the BMW last season, in the Porsche this season. Team captain for Selby Acoustics, and I do believe... No, he's not Selby Acoustics, he is... I've got to get my teams right here. I'll get back to you on that one. No, not Beyond Trophies, ICR, there we go. I got it right in the end. New fastest lap there, Andrew Lawrenson at 57.2. So Bruno Gallo's at 57.342. 90 seconds left in the session. So Andrew, he's in the Aston Martin as well. Just seeing who else is out on a time lap right now. I believe Bruno Gallo is right now. He's set a purple sector as well. So he's in the Porsche. He's just gone through, I believe, Vale. Andrew Lawrenson now, he's coming through there as well. He's gone purple again, so he is going for it right now. 57.230 was his best time. Let's see if he can beat that as we come into the closing stages of this one. Bruno Gallo out there as well. Ali Karuden, I think he might have called curtains on this one. Mitch Hobbs is still out.
Apologies for the delay. We are back now.
Whoa, Mr. Nathan Wilson. That was down Wellington. That was down the hangar.
That was Roltz then. That was Roland Schmidt who ended up in the fence then.
Yeah. Just need you to stream that broadcast, Joe.
Should be up and going now.
In Discord. Alright, we're back. So, having a look at Matt Frost here in P12. Got Stimson just ahead of him, Art Vanderlei following close behind, but right now it's Andrew Lawrenson, Ali Karuden, Bruno Gallo. Looks like Bruno Gallo's just made a move on Ali. Ali might have an issue there. He's made a little bit of a mistake. He's let a couple of blokes through. Bruno Gallo and Andy O'Hara be able to sneak through there as they make their way to complete the first lap. Oh, that's contact. That looked like it might have been Mitch Hobbs in the Aston Martin. Who else was involved in there? Ali Karuden, he was involved as well. So Mitch Hobbs looks like he managed to keep on going. Paul Russell, he's dropped a couple of spots too. So it was all happening there. A little bit of contact, side-by-side action, and looked like it was Ali Karuden was the big loser out of that, and looks like Phil Croathios as well. He's got some big damage to the front of that BMW. He's all the way down in P28, so a little bit of action to kick off this one. Season 3, race 1. But it's Andrew Lawrenson now from Bruno Gallo, Andy O'Hara, Daniel Hemi Bateman, Paul Russell. They're the drivers out in front right now.
I think there was a bit of contact further back between, I think there was kind of between Penfold and someone else maybe.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think, yeah, Mitch Hobbs was in there, but not too sure. I didn't catch all of it, so I'd only be really speculating. But it's a pretty tight field right now. Just having a look through the field as we go. But Andy O'Hara now, he's going to settle in for the chase. He's got Bruno Gallo just up ahead of him. Andrew Lawrenson sets another fastest lap, our race leader. So we'll try and see what the race gaps are at the moment. Give you a bit of an idea of the field and how they're spread out, but still relatively bunched, as you can see. It's pretty close action everywhere right now. We're looking at O'Hara and Gallo. This is P2, P3, Porsche versus Porsche. Making their way through Stone now, the fast right-hander. So nothing in it between these two right now. Plenty of action happening throughout the field as well. Plenty of close battles. Matt Frost down there in P10. He's just behind Stimson. But this battle that you can see on the screen, it's the top three. Then you got the other four cars coming through there. Hemi Bateman, Paul Russell, Van Vliet and Mitch Hobbs. That's your top seven. You can see them just in the background. So We've settled in now a little bit of action at the beginning, just a bit of a feeling out process as we're here with Paul Russell. He's currently sitting in P5 right now in the Aston Martin, and you can see a big gaggle of cars here as they come down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. So he's tucked in behind Daniel Hemi Bateman. He's got Marcus Van Vliet tucked in behind him. So plenty of work to do for Paul Russell. But out in front, Lawrenson, Gallo and Andy O'Hara. That's your top three right now. Mitch Hobbs and Adrian Rice just in the background. Having a look, I think that might be the BMW of, I think it was that Phil Kraithios. He had that big front end damage earlier on. So I think that was just him getting out of the way there, as he does. Nice work, Phil. But having a look here at Matt Frost and Stimson. So very tight battle here. Art Vanderlei just tucked in behind Frost in the customary 666 for Bruce Hall Racing. A nice little battle. Looks like Mitch Hobbs though. Looks like he was able to make a move on Marcus Van Vliet just up ahead. So he's moved himself into P6. So nice work there from Hobbs. He's got that Aston Martin aimed for fellow Aston Martin driver Paul Russell. Will be his next target up ahead. Still pretty tight at the front there. Lawrence and Gallo, 2.5 seconds. Then Andy O'Hara right in there as well. That's not a man that you want on the back of your rear wing there. Very formidable opponent, but Bruno Gallo will definitely be up for the challenge. They make their way across the line one more time. Lap time there, separated by 10, so lapping sub 2 minutes. 60-minute race would make you think they're going to do about 15 to 17 laps around here, just depending on time and pit stops. Pit stops probably expect around the 25-minute mark, as we've often seen in these 60-minute sprint races. As we give you a little bit of split screen action there on the left-hand side, that's the rear wing of Bruno Gallo. On the right, it's the Porsche of Andy O'Hara. Some great action here as they go through the fast right-hander of Stowe. Two pro drivers in this series as well. And nothing in it between them right now. So great stuff from these two as we've almost gone already 10 minutes into this 60-minute sprint race. There's Lawrenson just up ahead. Gallo just clips a little bit of the grass there as they're going through Maggots and Beckett's. Riding on that front splitter of Andy O'Hara. So great stuff from these two right now. Last out of Aintree. And that gives you an idea of what Bruno Gallo would be seeing in his rearview mirror there. Got the angry Porsche of Andy O'Hara hunting him down. Go through for another lap now. Almost identical times, a 58.427 to Gallo, a 58.445 to O'Hara. So this battle is red hot right now. Nothing in it between these two. They go through Maggots and Beckett's. And then out through Chapel. Great piece of tarmac. Would be on par with any other section of track you'd have to think on the planet. And then Story, the fast right-hander. Almost looked like the rear end got a little bit shaky there from Gallo. And you do not want to give Andy O'Hara a sniff. He does not need much of a chance at all to take advantage. We've got a little bit of split screen action as well. So
that's a nice battle that's going on from 19th through to that's going back to 25th, 26th in that group of cars. So that's a nice battle. Be red hot back there.
That's Hildebrandt, Penfold, Nathan Wilson in there as well. He's got James Pierre Reid and then Wally Masterson and angry old fella. So he's just trying to get on the back of these guys. That's James Pierre Reid just having a little bit of a look there at the rear rig of the Audi that belongs to Nathan Wilson as the battle on the right hand side. So that's Gallo and Andy O'Hara. That's for P2, P3. That rages on while these guys are a little bit further back in the pack. They're all duking it out right now for some of the minor places, but the racing no lesser.
There's another nice battle, really. It's there's a couple of really good groups of cars here, and this is the other one, which is around the top 10 or the back edge of the top 10. Well, so there's a bit of contact there between Vanderlei and Stimson.
Yeah, I think I saw, it looks like Stimson managed to get through there. Who else is in there? I think Anthony Cesana was in there, but we're looking at Vanderlei and Stimson. So fast, free-flowing part of the track right now. They've got Matt Frost just up ahead of them.
I think we'll just quickly go back to this battle. This is really heating up towards the trying to get inside the top 20.
Yeah, so this is, who's that? Penfold in there, James Pierre Reid, Nathan Wilson, that's Masterson and Angry. 5 cars all competing for the same spot on the track. This is great stuff. As Lawrenson, Gallo, O'Hara, Bateman and Hobbs in the top 5 right now. But we're having a look at it. James Pierre Reid in the Aston Martin, was in the Lamborghini last season. Decided to make the change.
How's that line of cars? That is just awesome to look at. This group.
Yeah, this is great
stuff. A bit
stuff.
further down the grid, but there's plenty of action going on.
Yeah, action all over the place. There's a 31 car field, so we are very sport for choice right now. So just on the, there we go. So we're back to James Pierre Reid down there in P21. Almost the quarter way mark of this one. So approaching the first 15 minutes. It's a Lamborghini they've got up ahead there. That was a lapped car.
Oh, that was...
Latenzio and Cesana. That was huge. Looks like Latenzio's picked up a fair bit of damage. He's in the gravel as of right now. But that was that was pretty big. Didn't quite catch what happened on the replay there.
We'll see if we can catch this now.
Here it is. Ooh, looks like there's a little bit of such a high-speed part of the circuit as well. That was a big hit straight into the wall, and I think Latenzio's decided that's enough. That damage is terminal, and he's gone back to the pit. So that Honda, unfortunate for Latenzio, that looks like it's probably his night done. But, yeah, not the best start to the season for him. In the meantime, though, I think East and Fakeney as well, they're continuing to go at it. The gap out in front between Gallo and O'Hara, though,
Yeah, we'll go to O'Hara and Gallo because this battle is still heating up.
Yeah, so it's 4/10. So just having a look at lap times right now. The last time around, Gallo did a 58.2 flat. Andy O'Hara did a 58.317. So still nothing in it between these two right now. And I dare say, I reckon these two would be thoroughly enjoying this right now. Two high caliber drivers, both going at it. Great way to kick off the season as we've gone over the quarter-way mark. So Lawrenson leads from Gallo, O'Hara, Hobbs and Hemi Bateman. Then Paul Russell, Van Vliet, Adam Rice is in there as well. Adrian Rice, sorry, Matt Frost and Art Vanderlei. That rounds out your top 10. Ali Karudin, I think, he's still going. It looks like he is, I believe. Yeah, so he's still out there. So he was quite high up on the grid, but he continues on. So nice work for him. A lot of green on that screen right there. As we can see some of the movers and shakers. Art Vanderlei up 5, Cesana up 6. Look at Michael East. He is up all the way. How many spots is that? 16 spots. So Matthew East, Michael East, I did get it right, sorry. New drivers, new season, got to get a little bit used to it. Hildebrandt up 7 spots, Dennis up 6, Angry up 7. So plenty of movers.
And then
north.
It's just red at the bottom.
Yeah. So James Pierre, Reed, Schmid, May, Kraithios, Karudin and Latenzio, he's done for the evening. So that gives you a bit of an idea where we are, but I think that battle between Stimson, Cesana, Vanderlei, all those guys in there as well was starting to heat up a little bit as well.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact between these two somewhere around that last lap then as well.
Yeah. As we're looking at Nathan Wilson. So he's up 4 spots. He's sitting in P20. He's got Penfold just up ahead of him.
I'll try and get a close-up of this livery for Wilson. It's definitely worth it. He does put a lot of effort into this, and it is worth giving a shout out to it. He's done a brilliant job of this. Bruce Hale Racing. And, you know, shout out to Beyond Blue as well, and Are You OK? There is going to be a charity event for the Console League towards the end of the year, and that will be a fundraiser for Beyond Blue, so we're looking forward to that one. But he's still in this battle. Wilson, he hasn't quite been able to get by Penfold.
No, he's just having a look at pace now. Where are we? Wilson. Just trying to bring up his details here. Okay, so last lap around was a 2-minute flat. Penfold was a 2-minute 5. So half a second quicker on that last lap around for Nathan Wilson. So he certainly has the pace to match Penfold. In fact, past him. They've got Hildebrandt just up ahead of them as well. So I'm sure he'll be keeping tabs on what's happening behind him. He's got Aaron Dennis coming over from. He's come over from Console. He's in 17th position right now. He's just up ahead of these 3 guys. Behind him is Andy O'Hara. He's ramping things up. He's just set the fastest lap time of the race. So we're 57.872. Cracking time from him. And once again, as we cut away to him, he is all over the rear wing of that Porsche that belongs to Bruno Gallo. So big credit to Bruno to be able to keep Andy at bay for now. This one might sort itself out in the pits as I dare say we're probably starting to approach the pit window. There is no official pit window, but generally do find around about that 25-minute mark is when we'll see plenty of action kick off in the pit area, and we are fast approaching that right now. So we'll make sure we keep tabs on that. But it's still Lawrenson. His best time, you would not believe this, and I'm trying to make sure my timing screen is correct, but it looks like he has the identical fastest lap to Andy O'Hara. So 57.872. Andy O'Hara did it on his last lap around. So I'm not too sure if that's a timing screen glitch or if it's for real, but that's what it says on my timing screen.
That is, it's actually, it is showing up as the two of them have got the purple. Absolutely, it must have been identical, absolutely identical to, what is that,
Crazy.
4 thousandths of a, no, to 10 thousandths of a second. That's bloody awesome.
Incredible. Yeah, so how's that for some pace from Andrew Lawrenson? So as they make their way around, so just giving you an idea on lap times, the last time around Lawrenson was a 58.380, Gallo was a 58.182, and Andy O'Hara was a 58.327. So Bruno Gallo was the faster of the trio there. Then came O'Hara and Lawrenson, but the pace is certainly fast at the front there. One of 4 guys. And Gallo, what's happened, Bruno? Oh no, he's made a mistake. So he's on my screen right now. There he is in front of the BMW.
Just go to replay now.
Is that through, just coming out of through Chapel? Yeah, you can just see the back end just inching away from him and then just gave out at the last moment. So Gallo with the mistake. Andy O'Hara just pressed just enough. And as they say, pressure, it either creates diamonds or bursts pipes. And that time around for Bruno, just succumbed to the pressure from Andy O'Hara from behind. So he drops down there into P3. So the gap between him and P4 man is Mitch Hobbs. So 5.6 seconds the gap right now, but we'll see if that does close down. Disappointing because that was a really good battle to watch as well between those two. So that'll free up Andy. He can, he's got free reign with his strategy now. He can decide when he wants to pit, not be dictated by someone else. As we're watching Marcus Van Vliet, he's giving chase to Paul Russell. This is in 6th and 7th. An idea of lap time, they're not separated by much. Last time around was a 59.495 to Russell, a 59.547 to Van Vliet. So not much in it at all between these two. It's Aston Martin versus Lamborghini. It's Gamesman Racing Team versus P&L right now.
It's big damage for one of the Penfolds. Which one is it? It is Rob Penfold. So it might have already happened here. Yeah, I think it has. So we've caught the back end of this one. He's got some big damage on that car. I might see if I can go hunting for the replay of that one, because that looks like it was a pretty big hit.
All right, while you do that, we'll keep an eye on this battle between Van Vliet and Russell. Nothing in it between them right now. As they're making their way down. This is through the Vale chicane. So 35 minutes still to go in this one. This is where I dare say we'll start to probably see some pit stops starting to happen very, very shortly. But in the meantime, we'll stick with these two. Marcus Van Vliet putting in a cracking effort so far. Paul Russell, good to see him back. He had some trouble with his pedals last season, so wasn't able to race the last couple of races. I do believe he brought the Mozza new wheel setup. It's something new to the market at the moment, and seems to be doing him pretty well right now. He's in P6 nice and comfortably there with Van Vliet, so he's got a battle on his hands, but judging by his performance out on track, I think he's taken quite a liking to it. Looks like it's an interesting brand as well. And here we go, here's Van Vliet. So I do believe he's the first of the runners to make a pit stop. Bruno Gallo, he's in the pits as well. So Gallo and Van Vliet are some of the first drivers to pit. Penfold's in there. Nathan
so that's
Wilson.
Penfold coming through, and we'll have a quick look. I have got that. We'll just see. So that's Wilson just behind Penfold, because there was big damage. Big damage for Penfold. Oh no, there's contact there.
Yeah.
And Wilson went round as well then. So that's, yeah, so there's a bit of carnage on that one.
Yep. All right, so pit stops happening right now. In there is Van Vliet. Now, Gallo was in there as well, I do believe. Just trying to pick him up. Where are you, Bruno? Just trying to pick him up on my timing screen. There he is. So his pit stop was a 26.8 seconds, 34.9 total. So around about 35 seconds. Van Vliet was a 35.4. So a little bit longer. He was stationary for 31.5 seconds. Gallo was stationary for 26.8. So I'll try and keep you posted with that as we're watching Matt Foss. He's in P7 right now, the 666 for Bruce Hale Racing.
So I will say that incident that between Penfold and Wilson there, Wilson did redress, even though there was that massive damage for Penfold. So that is one of the golden rules for RaceOnOz, that if there is contact and an incident occurs, that the incident is redressed. So that's what's happened in that case, and that's what we want to be seeing within the league.
Yeah, I think if you read the appeals and the incident notices and things like that, the sort of common theme coming out of it is redressing. It is quite important, and just maybe getting just a little bit of a
apologies, connection
spike.
drama, a bit of a spike there. Hopefully that's it. That's done.
Beautiful. So this is O'Hara and Lawrenson in front of him right now. So neither of these drivers have pitted. So only a sort of handful of drivers so far as we approach the halfway mark. But here's Andy O'Hara. This is going to be a good little battle here. So giving an idea on times. Last lap around was 58.945 to Andrew Lawrenson. Andrew O'Hara is really starting to find the sweet spot of that Porsche. He's really ramping it up right now with 58.195, so almost 0.8 of a second faster on that last lap around, and is the owner of the fastest lap time. And as we say that, Andrew Lawrenson decides now is the optimal time for him to pit, so he's making his way into the pits. So it's been around about 26, 27 seconds has generally been the pit stop time. So he's still stationary now. I'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, we've got Mitch Hobbs here. He's in P2 right now, so he inherits that after Andy O'Hara moved into the league. Into the lead, sorry. And Lawrenson still stationary. And there he goes, he drops. So he's away. just get the time from him once he's all done. As Hobbs making his way through. I think that was the lapped car just in front of him. So 27.9 seconds. So that's around about on par with everyone around him for that one, for Andrew Lawrenson. So nice work from him as Hobbs making his way through. So he remains in P2. Lawrenson comes out in P7 right now. So he has Peter Wall just behind him, and then Bruno Gallo, who's also pitted. So Peter Wall will still need to make his stop, but Lawrenson down there in P7. So that really leaves us now with keep an eye on Andy O'Hara when he decides to pit. We'll see if he responds directly. He's just coming through Luffield now, and he does. So Andy O'Hara says, all right, Mr. Lawrenson, you've decided to pit. I'm going to have a crack at that. His last lap there was a 2:03.3. So, but then it's obviously it takes into account for the timing. As Hobbs, he comes into pit as well. And here's Lawrenson. So he is just coming through, just trying to pick him up on the track map right now. Car number 7. Where are you? Car number 7. Just trying to pick him up. I think he's coming. I think that's Vale, I think it was. Car number 70. Ah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was through Brooklyn, sorry. So here he comes. O'Hara drops. Lawrenson continuing to fly through. This is going to be super tight. This is going to be really tight. There's Andy O'Hara, you can see. And he's done it. So O'Hara maintains over Lawrenson. Great stuff from Andy O'Hara. His stop there, 26.8. Lawrenson, 27.9. So 1.1 seconds faster. And that proves to be the difference. Now O'Hara. Oh no, 91. Car number 91. I think has got the penalty there. Male. Alright, I thought that was Andy O'Hara for a second there. I was going to say if this guy didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. But he continues on. There he is. He's P3. But he's going to be P1 overall right now. Great stuff from Andy O'Hara, and I think that's the class that we've come to accustomed to. But he's going to have it all to do because we've seen the pace from Lawrenson tonight, and we are set up for an absolutely cracking final 26 minutes of Season 3, Round 1, RaceOnOz, the PC League, as we go split screen here. Both views from the Porsche of Lawrenson chasing down O'Hara. Car number 72, he picks up a drive-through penalty as well. Just trying to see who that's Reese Penfold. They're not having a good night there, old Reese Penfold.
No, that's the second Penfold. So neither Penfold's having a good night tonight. It's their first race back in at RaceOnOz, so they haven't had a great night.
Alright, it's either like father, like son, or... Anyway, not enjoying it. Both drivers now, though. The O'Hara and Lawrenson, as Matt Frost has gone into the pit, so has Glenn Stimson. So these two go back into P1 and P2. Last lap around there. A 58.3 from Lawrenson, so that pace is right there with him. O'Hara obviously had the pit stop. Both drivers got their lights on as well. They mean business.
So the difference in the stop time there was O'Hara was 1.2 seconds quicker through the pit stop. So that's where he was, and he's obviously had a great in-lap as well, and he was able to get that position. He did catch Lawrenson very quickly after he got by Gallo.
So O'Hara's in lap was a 2:52 flat. Mitch Hobbs was a 2:53.6. Just to give you an idea of the pace there in terms of the in lap from Andy O'Hara. He owns the fastest lap of the race as well. So we're set up for a grandstand finish. So it's O'Hara, Lawrenson, Gallo, Wall and Hobbs. That's your top 5. Then Russell, Hemi Bateman, Adrian Rice, Marcus Van Vliet and Matt Frost. That rounds out our top 10 as car number 55 picks up a drive-through penalty, and that belongs to Angry Old Fella. So if he wasn't angry already, he will be now copping a drive-through penalty. So unfortunate for him, his first race in PC, down there in P27. He's got Nathan Wilson just behind him as well in P28. So those two just down there towards the rear of the grid. We're at the front of the grid where the action is right now. Field nice and well spread out. Most cars have made their stops now. I can see one, only a couple of cars left. I think it's Wall and Russell. And then Reece Penfold as well of the last 3 as Wall makes his way into the pits. But we're looking at James Pierre-Reid right now. We're down in P15 and 16. He's got Aaron just behind him, Aaron Dennis and Glenn Stimson ahead.
So this is the battle.
Plenty of action tonight.
This is the corner just before. I think there was a bit of contact between these guys.
Here we go, the 555.
Oh, there's not much in it.
Stimson.
Nah, that's just a good battle. Play on, lads. Keep going.
So it looks like he almost broke himself there a little bit, but Aaron Dennis manages to pull it up. No, that's Pierre-Reid, sorry. My mistake. Pierre-Reid, car 31. Used to seeing him in the Jim's Mowing Lamborghini, but not as extravagant livery this season, although he might change it as we go on. We'll have to wait and see. So they're down in 13th, 14th and 15th. So Stimson in 13th, 14th is Pierre-Reid, and 15th is Aaron Dennis, giving an idea of lap times. So Stimson's just made his stop, which was about 3/10 slower than the other 2 drivers behind him. So that maybe gives a bit of an idea of why these 3 are bunched up together. Stimson just a smidgen slower as Andy O'Hara, he sets the fastest lap again with a 57.735. He's on fire out there. 1.3 seconds is the gap between him and Lawrenson. But we're watching Reid on screen at the moment. And approaching the final third of this one before we wrap up race number 1 of season 3. Been plenty of action. Thanks for sticking with us. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. As we continue to watch this battle unfold. That looks like Dennis just had a little bit of a look there. And thought we were going to get a replay there, but
Was trying to, but no, we're not going to get a replay of that.
all right. Okay, so we'll stick with this little scrap going on here for 14th and 15th. Just having a look. So with 50, just a little update at the front. O'Hara did a 57.735. Lawrenson did a 58.1. So that gives you an idea of the pace that Lawrenson is up against, as we're looking at Daniel Hemi Bateman and Paul Russell. These two having a nice little scrap. Andy O'Hara again goes the fastest lap. He is absolutely loving those optimum conditions out there right now. 31 degrees track temperature, air temperature's 24. And that's perfect conditions for Andy O'Hara, loving it. At 57.657, Lawrenson responded with his best lap of the race with a 57.982, but still 0.3 off the pace of O'Hara. Just shows you the class of Andy O'Hara out there. Lawrenson's got it all to do ahead of him. Bruno Gallo in third spot. Mitch Hobbs and Paul Russell, they round out the top 5. And just on the outskirts of that top 5 is this man on screen in the McLaren. It's Daniel Hemi Bateman. He's going to do his utmost to get past Paul Russell. Put in a good lap last time around. Almost his PB, in fact. Russell did a 59 flat. Hemi Bateman did a 58.782. So a couple of tenths quicker, almost 3 tenths quicker than Paul Russell in front of him in the Aston Martin. They're battling it out for 5th and 6th. A top 5 position, a top 5 finish sounds a lot better than a top 6. That's what Hemi Bateman is aiming for right now. As we're moving into the final 20 minutes of this one, there's that witch's hat strewn far off the side of the circuit there. You can see in the background as these two going through up towards, this is Aintree, I think. No, I'm getting my corners mixed up. The loop now, sorry. Then they'll go through the left-hander of Aintree. Just a little gentle kink. And then they'll head down the Wellington Straight. We'll see if the McLaren can get a little bit of a tow as Andy O'Hara again. I think that's 3 laps in a row. He set the fastest lap at 57.582. Andrew Lawrenson tries to respond with a 58.062. So Andy O'Hara
just caught the back end of Reece Penfold having a big moment. We will catch the replay of this one because he was in a big battle with Sasana then.
Yep. Go. So he's going to go around the outside of Stowe. Oh, no! And there it goes. Did well to catch that, though. And then he's just gone straight on at Vale. So, and then that's it. So he's out. So Reece Penfold, he's retired to the pits. Down there in P27. Still got 30 runners, which is very impressive. We started with 31. We've got 30. As we're approaching the final quarter hour of this one. Looks like Van Vliet. We haven't seen too much of him. He's in P8 right now. So he's just chasing down Bryce. We'll see if we can get a camera on him. They're in 7th and 8th. Last round of 58.922 to... Sorry, 59.377 to Rice. Marcus Van Vliet, a 58.947. So significantly quicker, almost by half a second for Van Vliet on that last time around. He's hunting down the Aston Martin. I don't think I've ever seen this many Aston Martins in a race before, Joe. It's obviously the car to be in. Last season it was the McLaren seemed to be the car, but this year it's this season, sorry, it's the Aston Martin. As we go on board with with Marcus Van Vliet, working hard on the wheel there. Just glorious watching these guys coming through there as well. Magnificent part of the track. And that McLaren giving everything that it's got, but just that V8 in the front of that Aston Martin just has enough to keep it at bay for now. There's great stuff in the split screen. So he's working pretty hard there, Van Vliet. Just with that Bentley belonging to Adrian Rice. These two drivers are both on for a top 10 finish as well, so if they can hold on here, it'll be a great start to the season. Good haul of points for their teams, respective teams, Gamesman Racing Team and Pagny Next Level. As we go back to the single screen, so a little bit of an idea in terms of the movers and shakers. So Andy O'Hara, he's up 5 spots. Might have just been working out the kinks in qualifying and took the sandbags off and opened it up. And he's in P1 right now. Adrian Rice, he's up 4 spots in 7th. And you got East, Michael East. What a phenomenal effort from him. That's 1-9 on the screen there. 19 spots. Currently sitting in 11th place at the moment. Dominiak, he's up 11 as well. Poor old Ari Karuden. First time I've seen his name in a race at RaceOnOz, so he's down there in 24th. He did drop quite a few spots as we're looking at Art Vanderlei now.
It's his battle with Matt Frost here. This guy's been going at it for quite a while now.
Yeah, so Frost, his last lap around was a 59.555, triple 5, so triple 6. Vanderlei was a 59.347, so a couple of tenths quicker that last lap around for Vanderlei in that lovely Castrol Mugen Honda livery. Great work from him, lovely looking car. As they're making their way towards Farm Curve into Village, they'll go through the loop and then out through Aintree, down the Wellington Straight. So we're closing in on the final 10 minutes of this one. So it is still, as it sits, Andy O'Hara, Lawrenson, Gallo, Hobbs and Russell. That's your top 5. Hammy, Bateman, Rice, Van Vliet, Frost and Vanderlei. Van Vliet and Vanderlei. We'll have to make sure we get them right throughout the season. That's your top 10. Like I said, I think there's still 30 cars running. 27 now, actually. Tried a few others drop off. Having a look at Hammy Bateman here as well now. So he's giving chase to Paul Russell. So last lap around, a 59.367 to Paul Russell. Hammy Bateman did a 59.155, so a couple of tenths faster that lap around to Hammy Bateman. Got a little bit of an edge on Paul Russell in 5th and 6th. These two have been going at it for a little while now. I dare say probably enjoying themselves as well as we close in on the final 10 minutes of Season 3, race number 1 for RaceOnOz. We're going to finish in Britain, and then we're going to head down to Spain next week for the 100-minute Enduro. We've got 10 more minutes to see where we all finish in this one. The Teams Championship, the awesome prize from Ignition Control Racing of a button box, a lovely looking button box as well. So we'll see, to the winner goes the spoils. We'll see who gets their hands on that. We've got a cool trophy as well from Beyond Trophies, another one of our sponsors. done some really cool trophies for us as well in the console league. So thanks to those guys up in Queensland, I do believe. Shout out to Andrali, who has fostered a very nice relationship with them. And he's doing quite well. It did quite well in console as well last season. We'll see if he decides to make the jump to PC one day. But hope he's doing well. Hope he's watching. We've got 9 minutes left.
Yeah, Jelly's done a great job. He also looks after the Twitter for the for RaceOnOz as well, and he's done a great job with that. And harboring that relationship with the sponsor as he has Beyond Trophies. Shout out to Beyond Trophies for the support they've given us, and hopefully Team BTR do pretty well this season. So unfortunately, it's a little bit hard to tell some of the liveries, but we'll be working on that for the next round, as we've got P&L and GRT, I believe. Oh, it's SAR, sorry. So that's Paul Russell in the yellow Aston Martin, and that McLaren of Hemi Bateman is with Team Selby Acoustic Racing.
Well, you know who you need to go to if you want to get a shout out on the Twitter feed. Hit him up in the Discord and you can see what he can do for you. So Andy O'Hara's still leading. We'll see if we can get those race gaps up on the screen to give us a bit of a overall view of the race as we're down into the final 8 minutes of this one. There we go. So 4.9 seconds now, the gap between Lawrenson and O'Hara. That's for P1 and P2. Looks like it's heating up though between Van Vliet and Adrian Rice. That's another Pagnia Next Level and Gamesman Racing Team little scrap for 7th and 8th. Then you got Matt Frost just behind them, and Vanderlei in East. They're mixing it up as well. So coming into the very, very late stages of this one, but the fighting has not finished yet. Here we go. That's the Bentley belonging to Michael Least. I believe the sole Bentley in the field. Ooh, he gets it a little bit loose there. Coming through Stowe, manages to hold on. And he's going to resume hostilities with Vanderlei. So they're down in P10 and 11. A top 10 finish sounds a lot better than a top 11. That's for sure. It's a tough cookie to get past though, Art Vanderlei. He's no slouch. So he'll give you a fair old scrap. He had some great battles last season with James Pierre Reid as he sends it down the inside. And I think he's going to get that done. That Bentley is fantastic under brakes. And it just demonstrates that exactly then. So nice work from East. He puts himself into the top 10. Great work from him. Art Vanderlei won't give this up without a fight though. So he'll try and fight back as we approach the final 6 minutes. So the time starting to tick by now as we're looking a little bit further afield. Nathan Wilson down there in P25. Had a bit of an eventful race. I think we're going to catch a replay here. What do we have
Yeah, he's just letting cars go. He did pop up as a yellow, but that's all good. No, he's doing the right thing there. This is his first race in the PC League, and it's been very eventful for him. So he's done all the right things. You know, he has made a little mistake, but redressed. So that's all that can be asked for, and he's done the right thing.
I think he's done the best that he can as we're looking at Caruden. So had a great qualifying, but unfortunately, beginning of his race, had a little bit of contact and came off second best. So he stuck with it though, so credit to Ali. Great job, he's stuck it out all the way. Pretty easy to just throw the toys out of the cot and just pit and quit, but he hasn't. He's fought on as I think that might be Mitch Hobbs just up ahead of him, car number 97. He's currently in P4 right now, so he's just working his way through some of the slower cars on the circuit, the BMW. I think that's Phil Croathios. He just gets out of the way, so nice driving, Phil. But he's got the battle to fight with Ali Karudin, who takes full advantage of that and says, thank you very much. I'll take that spot from you, Mr. Croathios. And he slips through into P23. So nice work to Ali. I'm sure we'll see him in the next round. As we get back to Hemi Bateman and Russell, they're still going at it, these two. They're having a nice old little scrap. Less than 4 minutes remaining in this one. Race 1 of Season 3. Race on Oz. It's been good. We've had massive fields. We've had plenty of good racing. Hemi Bateman. Can he get a nice little toe here? Not quite. So Russell, probably another couple of laps. Just needs to fend him off for. As we go on board with Hemi Bateman, the split screen bringing the action once again. Let's see what Russell can do. They go through Stowe. No, that's not Stowe. That's Cops. Sorry, my mistake. Fast right hand, another last. Here we go, Hemi Bateman, 2 into 1. Don't quite go through Maggots and Beckett's. That spits him out through Chapel. So he's going to have to give it everything he can if he wants to get a top 5 position, and Paul Russell is going to have to do plenty if he wants to hold on to P5 right now. Like the Mozza steering, the Mozza rig is held up. Oh, Hemi Bateman runs deep, and Vale just pushing a little bit too hard, missed his braking point, just went deep under brakes, and you'd have to think with only 2 minutes and change left on the clock, that might be a little bit too much to overcome, and his hopes of a top 5 position might have just gently floated away there as Paul Russell continues his way on. Andy O'Hara has certainly done a fantastic job tonight. P1 right now, 7 seconds clear of O'Hara. As we scan through the field, look like Cesana and Dominiak having a little scrap there. Down in 19th and 20th, here we go. Dominiak getting a nice little toe. They go side by side. You're going to send it up the inside. Oh, we had a decent old crack at it, but not quite. So they remain in 19th and 20th for now. They've got Wall and Masterson up ahead, so they're having a nice little scrap as well to finish this one off as we're about to go sub 1 minute left in this race. This is race 1 of Season 3, the PC League. Massive field, lots of battles throughout, and it's been a fun one. We haven't heard the official announcement as of yet. Just trying to see where Andy O'Hara is out on the circuit, if he'll get one more lap in. It's going to be pretty tight, I reckon. He's just coming through Aintree now, so I'll keep an eye on that while we've got the battle raging on the screen.
I think Van Vierle might have tried to make a move on who was that? That was Adrian Rice, I think. We'll see if we can catch the back end of this. Whereas he just ran a bit deep. Oh, he's just had the big understeer moment there. And that'll be play on, I think. Oh, is this the battle between... Oh,
that's it. That is it. So Andy O'Hara was very, very clever there. He just slowed down just enough to get to the 0, so he didn't have to do another lap. Congratulations to Andy O'Hara. He celebrates with some donuts. Nice work from him. Bruno Gallo, he comes home in P3. Congratulations, Bruno. Good drive from him. He rounds out the podium. Mitch Hobbs, he takes P4. Congratulations to Mitch Hobbs. Looks like the battle between Paul Russell and Daniel Hemi-Bateman is going to be one there from Paul Russell, who takes home P5. Well done to him. Hemi-Bateman in 6 as the donuts continue. Oh, who's that at the back? Is that... Oh, that was Susanna and was it Masterson? They had a little coming together as Frost and East. They both crossed the line. Stimson's going to come home in 12th. We'll have a little look at the replay.
Oh, they all...
Oh. Yeah.
That was very close to almost hitting that. I'm not too sure who that was. That other McLaren there.
I think that was Wall and... No, Susanna. Yeah, Wall, Susanna, Masterson were in there. I'm not too sure which ones it was. But this is Susanna. He's going to come home in P19. So Hildebrandt, he still needs to cross the line. He's just coming through Luffield now. He'll come out of Woodcote. So he's looking to take P16. So Susanna's on the screen though. He's got behind him. So Hildebrandt, he comes home 16th. It's Masterson. Looks like he's going to come home in 17th, just behind Hildebrandt. Dominiak and Susanna, they come home in 18th and 19th. Peter Wall is 20. And you're looking at Schmid, Coco, Karuden, Croathios, Nathan Wilson, Angry Old Fella, and Nando Latenzio in 27th. We started with 31. That is a pretty good result, I reckon. Whew. All right. Hey, that was good. That was a fun one, I reckon, for 31 cars on track to kick off the season. Massive congratulations to Andy O'Hara. I reckon he sort of just took his time to warm into it, but once he did, he flexed that muscle and, showed his class tonight. So massive congrats, Andy O'Hara. Race number 1 of the season takes home P1. Andrew Lawrenson, absolutely fantastic effort. I'm not too sure if it's on debut, but debut of the season, take home P2. And Bruno Gallo, surely to be a championship contender in 3rd, and then Hobbs and Russell rounding out the top 5. So that's a little bit of a taste for what's to come. We're going to do it all again next Monday night. We are off to Spain, Barcelona in fact, around Catalunya. We are going to do an enduro, 100 minutes in fact, around then. So, Joe, did you like that one? I enjoyed it. How about yourself?
Yeah, that was great. Look, apologies for the technical dramas at the start of that one. We will get that sorted and get stuck into the next round. Congratulations to Andy O'Hara, Lawrenson and Gallo on the podium. That was a brilliant performance. And I look forward to doing this all again next week.
Before we go, Wacky Wednesdays as well. So if you're interested, Wacky Wednesday is a great opportunity for if you're new to the league and you want to meet other drivers and get out there and have a bit of fun. It's not ultra competitive. Feel free to jump on. All the details are in Discord as well. So great way to meet other drivers, interact with each other, and get familiar with some of the other guys in the league. So Wacky Wednesday is also available. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe.
No, that's all good, mate. Thank you for your efforts tonight. It was it was a good race to start the season off. I'm really looking forward to the next one. This is it's going to be a great season, I reckon. There's plenty of action throughout the field, and the standard is very high.
It is indeed. So look forward to doing it all again with you next week, Joe. We're doing it in Barcelona. We'll see you all in 7 days. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Have a good week. Stay safe. My name's Nick. I've been joined by Joe. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.